Okay, so if you're thinking about career change, then there's a few things you must know. And this video is going to take you through some essential stuff that you need to consider and know when you're looking at career change. Now, I'm Martin Gibbons, I'm founder of Career Psychometrics, and I'm going to take you through this over the next couple of minutes. Now, when we're talking about career change, we're talking about more than simply changing jobs. When you change jobs, you essentially just change employers. You do what you've always done, more or less the same thing, but for someone new. That's not what we're talking about career change. Career change is something else. This is where you actually do something different, usually for a different employer. Most people seek career advice when considering a significant career change. Now, if you've been doing a job for a while and realise that it isn't meeting all your needs, then it makes sense to look at something new. Let's face it, you've spent years figuring out what you don't want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you know what you should be doing. You also want to ensure that this move is a career development. It is possible to make a career change, but a change for the worse, and we don't want that. You see, the trial and error approach to job hunting is simply not efficient. You need something more reliable, which is why you need career advice, to be honest. Trying a job for, you got to try it. You tend to have to stick there for maybe 2 or 3 years, or because if you change jobs every 10 minutes, then it really looks bad. Sure, you may want to work it out after a few years, but why would you want to waste all that time? You see, with the right career advice, you would be able to actually find what you should be doing quite quickly, rather than do that whole suck and see and take 10 years or maybe never to discover it. So you need to be clear that the secret to finding your ideal job actually lies in your personality traits, your core, who you are, not in your history or where you've been, your work experience, or all those things that are in the past. You need to look to the future for the answer that you're looking for. Most people end up doing a variation of their previous job, and this is the trap you need to avoid. Now, this rarely works out in the long term. Instead of looking to the past, you need to look to your personality, discover what job is right for you, and you need to maybe try some of the free career personality tests. There's one over at Career Psychometrics to help you figure out what you should be doing in the future, because it's your future we're talking about, not your past. Now, another reason to seek good career advice is to help you navigate the job hunting landscape, the actual nuts and bolts of how you go about getting invited to interviews and landing jobs. It's changed immensely over the last 3 years, so you really need to know how the landscape is today, and that's where you need to get some expert advice. Now, a specialist can advise you how to navigate this new landscape, and it's really changed over the last 3 years. Quickly, let's touch on the difference between career development and job hunting. Most people, they kind of move from one crisis to another. They react to circumstances forced upon them, they fall out with the boss, they lose their job, they're made redundant, stuff happens and they have to react to it, usually very quickly. Those who think about their career development are always planning their next move, even when they're in a good, secure job. These are the people who force the change and drive the agenda. They are not simply reacting to circumstances. And it's important that you understand this difference. It's important that you move over into career development and away from the crisis management and job hunting approach that pretty much everybody takes. And that will be the single biggest change that you make to advance your own personal circumstances. Upon receiving a new job, do you think, okay, where to next? Or do you say, what a relief, I don't need to think about job hunting for ages now? I think you understand what the answer should be. Okay, quick summary about career changing. You want to ensure that you make a career change for the better, so seek career advice as to what job is right for you. Let's make sure you're climbing the right tree. Look to your personality for guidance as to what career is most suitable for you. Do not repeat past mistakes. Do not look to the past for the answers to where your future lies. And 3, make the shift from job hunting to career development. You want to build and move forward year on year, not simply start again year on year and hope you get lucky. And despite the economy, there's never been more opportunities. Employers are struggling to find the right people. You could just be what they're looking for.